was going to start this video off by informing you guys that unfortunately this was not going to be a fun video to discuss. But you guys are used to me talking about Monday Night Raw every single week, so you're used to that. This video is about Jeff Hardy. And I know, when you hear something is about Jeff Hardy, you see a video made about Jeff Hardy, you see that he's trending on social media, you see that he made the headlines in the papers, you're thinking Jeff Hardy went and did something stupid again. And that sucks, because we admired Jeff Hardy for so long. We respected Jeff Hardy for so long. We still to this day love Jeff Hardy, and we thank him for every ounce that he has given us over the past 20 years in the form of entertainment. We thank him. We love him. He's a dude that just seems genuinely good, but just could not overcome his demons. And at the age of 42, it looks like those demons are even more dominant over him than they were in the past. We want to put this guy on the highest of pedestals, talk about him in the most positive of ways, and shine him in the brightest of lights, because again, he gave us so much within a 20-year period. But it's just so damn hard to do that when he makes one bad decision after the other. And if you're 21 years old, we can give you a mulligan or two, no question. At the age of 21, I was still trying to find my way through this world. So I know from firsthand experience. But at the age of 42, you have to man up. You have to adult. I know, we hate adulting. I do probably more than anyone else. But you have to at times. This is no longer about Jeff Hardy, and this is what hurts the most. It was always trying to help this generally good dude who just couldn't overcome his demons, and we want to help him. But now it's clear that there is no help anymore, unless he chooses first and foremost to help himself, and it is evident that that is not the case. So now it's no longer about Jeff Hardy. This is now about the rest of the world and the people that are on those roads, sharing those roads with an illegal driver in Jeff Hardy. Now I am done throwing mulligans and being nice with this shit, because my family, my friends, my people are on those roads. I know people down in North Carolina, South Carolina. I know people all over this fucking country driving right now as I speak. But more importantly, I know firsthand. I was one of those teenagers, right into the age of 21, that continuously drove drunk and paid the price. Whether it was arrest after arrest, jail time after jail time, crashed car after crashed car, I have seen my own friends lose their lives via drunk driving. I have witnessed this all firsthand on too many occasions. So I am telling Jeff Hardy, as I've done in other videos, to cut the shit and stop thinking about himself, because there is only two destinations on the road that he is going. And unfortunately, he could see both. The two destinations are jail and death. There's no other destination on this road. It's a one-way path, brah. A one-way road. You can't stop and go back. You can't take an alternative route. The road you are on is one way. Literally a dead end. The destination is a dead end. And you're about to hit that shit dead on. I have seen it too many times growing up. I have been involved in it too many times growing up. But the key phrase is growing up, because I grew up finally. It took literally a 15-month sentence for me to grow up, and I finally did it in prison, but I did it. And I grew up, and I realized that I wasn't just affecting myself, I was affecting everybody else in the community, everybody else in the country, everybody else in the world. It was no longer just about me and my selfish ways. I grew up. This guy needs to grow up. If that means his friends and his family do some intervention shit where they literally turn their backs on him, so be it. If this means that a judge finally gets fucking gritty, finally grows a set of fucking balls, and puts him in prison for 2 years, then so be it. The guy needs to be locked up. Not just for punishment, but to save himself. And not just to save himself, but to save his community, his country, his world. Is that over dramatic? I think not. Because in 2017, which is the latest statistics we have for drunk driving, 10,874 people died on the road via drunk driving accidents. 2017's numbers that were released in 2018, 10,874 people. Picture 10,874 people lined up, one by one, gone by a drunk driving accident. That is 29% of all road fatalities. That means that every single day, 30 people in the United States alone lose their life in a drunk driving crash. 30 people a day nearly. That is one person every 48 minutes. Every 48 minutes, somebody is passing away due to drunk driving. And I'm being over dramatic. No, I've lived this shit. Dude is 42, not 21. It's no longer about him anymore. He needs to be locked up for his own good and for the safety of everybody else. This guy was involved in incidents back in 2016. Remember, he rolled his fucking Cadillac. Crashed his car, easily could have lost his life. Many people say because of that accident, he should have. That's how tragic it was. But he was able to get a second chance. In 2018, in March, he gets arrested again. Just a couple of months ago, in Myrtle Beach, he was arrested again, public intoxication. Now, we're just hearing this past Thursday, arrested again, intoxicated on driving while impaired while on a revoked license. His license was already taken away from a few months ago, probably from the incident back in 2018, but no, he said, fuck it. I don't care about the laws of the world, the laws of the country anyway. I'm gonna drive anyway because I need to get my case of beer. So what am I talking about, right? If you don't even fucking know, guys, this past Thursday, this is real deal shit. This isn't just speculation. This is why I waited several days to get all the facts, but now we have the facts from the officer himself. Jeff Hardy was arrested this past Thursday night after he was stopped for suspicion of driving while impaired and was later found to be driving on a revoked license. The arresting officer noticed Jeff had a bloody nose, and Hardy told the officer it was from an earlier fight with his wife. Apparently, law enforcement was tipped off about an erratic driver. They came across Hardy's car, which matched the car they were looking for, and they noticed Hardy carrying a case of beer out of a liquor store or supermarket. So he had a case of beer, and they let Hardy get into his car to make sure that this was the match and that he was under the influence of something. So they watched Hardy take off, and they noticed him weaving badly in his lane before they finally made the decision to pull him over for public safety. Once pulled over, Hardy was uncooperative when asked about a breathalyzer or blood sample. Law enforcement says he bombed the field sobriety test, which is mandatory. Hardy admitted to having 2 shots of vodka only. I call bullshit. 2 shots of vodka for Jeff Hardy, first of all, is 2 liters of vodka. But I've taken 2 shots of vodka, and as much as I shouldn't have, drove just fine. Again, I do not at all recommend doing such. I recommend if you have 1 shot of vodka, you hand over your keys. But I just know Jeff Hardy's tolerance, 2 shots of vodka, and you have a brawl with your wife that results in you bleeding. You drive on a revoked license just because you need a case of beer. You're weaving on the road, all on 2 shots of vodka. I call BS. And you bombed the field sobriety test on 2 shots of vodka. Bullshit, bro. But we've all been there, right? You gotta lie to the officer. You gotta try to get off, right? But dude, you're on a revoked license. How far did you think you were gonna get off? This is just another, and we are now over a handful of incidents. At what point at 42, how many mulligans do you throw a human being? On my second one, I was put in jail. Longer than 30 days, I can assure you. But how many times does this need to happen before a 42-year-old gets thrown in jail for his own punishment? Yes, but not just that, the public safety. At what point do we really try to help this son of a bitch and lock him up? I don't care if it's a rehabilitation program that's like 6 months long at least, or literally jail time. He is driving on a revoked license, so he is telling you, fuck you, I don't care about your law system. So he's driving on that, and he still continues to drink while driving. Somebody is going to die on those roads. Somebody is going to be 10,875. Somebody is going to be one of those 30 people in one day. Somebody is going to be that person every 48 minutes. And it's going to be on Jeff Hardy's watch. And you're going to sit back and you're going to say, wow, we had 7 opportunities to lock him up. We never took it. We like Jeff. He's a good dude. He's breaking the law. And now it's no longer about himself. Again, I take this very seriously because I live this. I've had good friends. I've had my best friend pass away from a drunk driving accident and accidents. I myself have driven drunk one too many times, found myself in prison one too many times, crashed one too many cars. I take this very seriously because I've seen both prison and death up close. And I make these videos not just to talk about the Jeff Hardy incident and situation. I do these videos really to talk to anybody out there that has either fought this shit or in the future will think it's a good idea to go home after a party. Oh, I've only had a few beers. I'm good. I mean, I'm a little woozy. I'm a little fucking buzzed. But I can make it home. I've driven home before buzzed or even drunk. No, my job here now is to educate and help you think clearly. Please do not. If you've had any drinks, hand over your keys. You have nothing to lose. But if you don't hand over your keys, you have everything in the world to lose, including your freedom and possibly your own life. And if you don't care about your own life and freedom, then even more severely, somebody else's life and freedom. This is no longer about Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy realizes this too. Matt Hardy actually issued a statement. This is the brother of Jeff Hardy. Matt said, since so many have asked me about my brother, I love my brother and want him to be happy and healthy. I've expressed that to him as much as I possibly can. Jeff has to make his decisions about his life. I have to focus on my 2 sons, my 2 boys, and soon to arrive son. I can only control my actions. So it seems like Matt Hardy has finally had enough and is saying, dude, I've tried. I have another kid on the way to join my 2 kids already. I got a family of my own. I deal with my own demons. I can't anymore. It almost sounds, Matt Hardy has never did something like this after a Jeff Hardy arrest. He's finally saying, dude, I tried. I'm done. WWE issued the same generic statement they always do, the same thing they did just a few months ago when he got arrested, public intoxication in Myrtle Beach. WWE said, Jeff Hardy is responsible for his own actions. That's it. That's it. WWE doesn't have the fucking balls to just fire this son of a bitch. And again, this is for his own good. This isn't even just punishment. You gotta start thinking about more than just Jeff Hardy now. How can a company keep somebody like this on their roster, their payroll, when they know the liability that he is into others? This is like some intervention shit where his most prized loved ones, the people he puts on a pedestal, they need to now turn their back on him. I know that sounds harsh, but if you've ever seen the show Intervention, this works. Because the individual is not getting better. He's 42. Do you honestly think he's just going to get better at the age of 52, 62 without something drastic happening? No. This is the life that he has created. This is the bubble that he has put himself in, and this is the normal to him. And that's what people have to realize about addicts. They create this new normal. They know it's not right. They know it shouldn't be a normal, but this is how they have become accustomed to living. It's all that they know how to be and how to act at that point. You have to get in the minds of people like this. And they only truly start to realize the repercussions that are rippling through their family and loved ones once their family and loved ones turn their back on them. It's harsh. That's the point. They don't want to see him in prison for years. They don't want to see him die prematurely. It's harsh for a reason. It's like a shock to the system. It's a last-ditch effort to save someone they love, and you turn your back on them. What you do is you cut off all lines of communication, no money, not that he needs it, but anything that he needs from you, you totally cut off, including, again, communication. You do not give him any time. If I'm his wife, I leave, I take the kids, and I say, until you get better, literally 100% better, you don't see your kids. That's simple. Who's to say one day he doesn't put a fucking kid into a fucking car, or his nephews, or who fucking knows? You don't know, because in the minds of these addicts, they're fine. There's no problem. They can make it home easily. They've done it a million times. That's their thought process. And then you put a loved one in there, and things could go drastically wrong, tragically wrong. So you turn your back on them. WWE has to turn their back on him. Once that happens, he realizes how far he has hit rock bottom. And the hope is that then they realize how much people mean to them and how much their life means to them, and they start the process of getting better. That's the hope. It's harsh, it's drastic, but it's for a reason. It is the last-ditch effort. The way things are going now, it's not helping Jeff Hardy. Everybody's staying in his life. WWE just issues this generic statement. All's good. He'll be back. He'll get arrested 3 or 4 more times, and we'll hope nobody dies in the process. Cool. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. This is the same thing over and over again. Now people need to stop. Stop pandering to Jeff Hardy. Stop with the, oh, we love you, Jeff. We're behind you, Jeff. Even in these videos, I said, hey, let's support him. Let's make sure he gets better. I've said this. This video is not that video. No longer do I give a shit about supporting Jeff or loving Jeff or putting him on a pedestal, or thanking him for what he's given us in 20 years. Now I am concerned with not just his life, but others that are in his rampage. Because this is a rampage when you're driving on a revoked license to get a case of beer. When you've hit that level of rock bottom, there is no turning back unless people turn their backs on you. Jeff Hardy, dear Jeff, get your shit together. You're 42, not 12, not even 21. You need to adult. It's not about you, bro. It's about the rest of these people in this world that are trying to make it home from a long day at work. Or a couple that maybe just got married and they're on the road about to go to their fucking honeymoon. And they got some fucking lunatic weaving on the roads because they needed a case of beer when the law said your license is revoked. Bro, I've been there. I've been in your shoes, bro. Even worse. I overcame it. There is help. You can do better. But you need to want it, bro. You're gonna hurt a lot of people, and you already have. It is clear you have already hurt your family members. Fights with your wife that cause you to even bleed? You're bleeding because of a fight with your wife. Your own brother is saying, I can't do it anymore. I have to concentrate on my own life. You are hurting your own family and friends, bro. But it could get even worse. I've seen it firsthand. It does get worse. Cut the shit. This better be the last fucking time I talk about this shit. Same with the Usos. They didn't take it to this level. But how many chances do we give these sons of bitches? And they're on a role model status. They're looked at in a much different light than the normal Joe Schmo. And they continue to abuse that privilege. We understand they might be role models, they may be superstars, they may be celebrities in some sort of way. But at the core, they're human beings. I get it. But once you become that role model, once you become that superstar, if you can't handle it, then you need to get the fuck out. Because there are children that are looking up to you. Be responsible, bro. If you were 21, maybe I would be discussing this differently. You're 42. Act like it. Amplified, man. Fuck out of here. Stay subscribed and notified. I'll dish out some more videos later in the week, guys. Obviously, tomorrow, AEW versus NXT. We'll have the second ever duo review, and we'll see which product was able to outdo the other product in the company. That's always fun, or at least it was last week. I know you guys enjoyed it. And then Friday, I hope to have the podcast out. What are we up to? 37, 38? Some shit. We're kicking ass on the podcast. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to get some coffee, and kick today's ass. I hope you guys do the same. The Amplified Man. Yow! Yow! Check you later.